lost in translation. Too many voices, no real information. And now there's hope, a change taking place. Google's got my back, they're clearing the space. Searching for the real deal, no more fake. No more spam, no more give and take. The March 2024 core update breaks the mold. Reducing unhelpful content, it's a story untold.
Beautiful. Yes. All right, here we go again. Is TikTok about to get banned in the U.S.? Are Google ads about to screw up your targeting at the country level? And what you've been needing around here, a core update. You're listening to News from the Edge for the week of March 11th, 2024, here on Edge of the Web Radio.
From the Edge of the Web studios, here's what we're looking at this week.
Tell me that wasn't good. Tell me.
I had the volume off. I couldn't stand it. All I saw was you dancing.
Yes, exactly.
With no music. There was no sound.
That's even better. That's
Horrifying.
even better. We have a core algorithm update soundtrack now. That's what we have. Yeah. It's wonderful. And
that's your core update song of all the songs in the whole planet. That's your core update.
And
song.
it was written by it was made by AI as well. So there's that.
I want to put a manual action on that song.
This is what happens when we record at 9 a.m. in the morning. I mean, you never know. Actually,
I'm happy because usually record 9 p.m. my time. It's 3 p.m. I'm actually awake. It's a normal hour. I'm like trudging through this podcast.
Morty just gave it a thumbs up.
He did. I saw it on the screen.
Right on the screen.
I was recording, so I was recording an episode of the SEO Rant, which is a great podcast. Y'all should listen to it.
We heard something about that before.
Yeah, I was on Zoom and I was like doing like, I don't know, like Richard Nixon. And all of a sudden, like balloons started popping up. What an idiot at Zoom decided, you know what? If you hold up certain fingers, like party celebrations, you could be talking about like, look, you're fired, and I'm sorry, we have to let you go, and like. Fireworks go off because you held your fingers up in the wrong place.
Hey, Morty, you're number one.
I got a finger for them, by the way, over at Zoom for this crap. I got a finger. I got a finger.
All right.
I assure you,
Furious
Judge,
anger.
I am not a cat.
Hey, this is Edge of the Web Radio. Thanks for listening. I'm Aaron Sparks, your host, owner of Site Strategic, for covering SEO and digital marketing news here each week, separate from our weekly interviews, dropping news into your work week as quickly as we can get it to you. Be sure to check out everything over at edgeofthewebradio.com. That's edgeofthewebradio.com. This is the Site Strategic Digital Marketing News Desk of Edge of the Web. We're proud to have them as the title sponsor of this show, one of the top SEO companies here in the Midwest. If you're interested in what we can do for you, just go check out sitestrategics.com. The angry person on the other end of this conversation is the indomitable Morty Oberstein. He's the head of SEO branding over at Wix. Why is Morty so angry today? Oh, it's because he's awake. That's why.
Yeah. No, well, thanks a lot. No, because seriously, like you do these like thumbs up things and you get the fireworks and whatever, but like you could be having a serious conversation.
You could be, yes. And
that's stupid.
I think it's entertaining.
You know what makes me angry? Stupid makes me angry.
Stupid makes you angry. Well,
who is stupid? Like, you know what we should do? When people hold up their fingers like Richard Nixon, we should throw balloons. Like, who sat around like, yeah, that's what we should be doing? Like, that's what you're working on? That's the big product development that you're doing? The freaking balloons when I do Richard Nixon?
As opposed to Kermit the Frog, why are there so many songs about rainbows? He just sounded just like that.
We should do the whole pocket.
Oh, hey, Aaron, want to talk about the corrupting?
Oh, my God. SEO News by the Muppets is the new thing that I need in my life.
TikTok warns premeditated vote on U.S. ban will damage billions of businesses.
It's not funny anymore now.
Okay, never mind.
Hey, Bert.
First article from Search Engine Land. I'm sorry, Nicola, because we completely trashed your headline there. TikTok warns predetermined vote on U.S. ban will damage millions of businesses. TikTok's accused U.S. senators of staging a predetermined vote to ban the platform in the United States. Next week, the U.S. House, this week actually, the U.S. House of Representatives will vote on legislation that gives TikTok owner China's ByteDance 6 months to divest the app. If it doesn't, TikTok will be completely banned in the United States, losing its 150 million strong user base in America. In response, the app actually suggested that the outcome of the vote has already been determined and voiced concern that it would cost people their livelihoods. So here it comes. I mean, this has been one of the states themselves have been so zealous on actually banning TikTok. The U.S. ban on TikTok will significantly impact advertisers, especially those targeting Gen Z. The demographic favors TikTok over platforms like Google, making it more a crucial channel for advertisers seeking to reach the audience. So there's been individual states that have banned TikTok over the years. Now we're looking at a federal ban over security concerns. I mean, this has been the conversation for a number of years, is that China was actually, and the communist government was actually subsidizing this application so to actually understand U.S. users and U.S. user behavior online. The vote's going to be held to address concerns related to national security surrounding the TikTok's ownership itself. So they're wanting the company to divest itself of the app itself, bring in another owner. I don't see how that is actually going to work well. But, I mean, here it comes. You're about to see an app completely rejected by the United States. I don't think we've ever seen this in this caliber before. Gentlemen.
Guys, we cannot have people knowing what we do online.
No,
Red alert. We can't have...
It's only okay when it's an American company reading grandma's WhatsApp.
Right, and making money off of it and putting that money into the pockets of government officials to help with re-election.
We just don't do that around
my
here.
point, though. Because if you think it's bad in the U.S., how much worse is it in China?
If China would just help get these people reelected, TikTok would be okay.
You know what's messed up in China? What the Chinese people see on TikTok is educational shorts, not what the U.S. actual demographic sees. The algorithm shifts to its own people in much more of an education.
It's purposely trying to make people outside of China stupider and people in China smarter.
Exactly.
I'm guessing it's propaganda too.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Not what we would consider educational.
Red pandas eating
more like programming.
Yeah, I think that's what you actually call it.
But the moral of the story is that I kind of feel like people are stupid. Like, I will not install TikTok on my phone because of this.
Right.
I know many people who won't install TikTok on. I don't want the Chinese track. I don't want American government track. I don't want anyone tracking me, to be honest with you. I hate cookies. The hell out of here. That's what people have on their website. Like, are you happy with the cookies? Who the hell is ever happy with the cookies?
I have to get Muppets in every news story.
Me love cookies. Raisin.
No, and
but like, why do people? But people don't care. They put it's a social media platform because I'll get a lot of engagement. It's a lot of fun. Like, who cares what's happening? So it's our fault.
It is our fault. All three of us. It is our fault.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My fault totally.
I mean, the thing is, I don't know. They have 6 months. At the end of the day, TikTok's so big.
Yeah.
The company would be stupid not to sell it. They'd be stupid not to sell it, right? Like, it's so big. Like, I'm sure that they want to hold on.
The thing is that if they really are using it for these nefarious purposes that they're using it for, supposedly, then they're not going to sell it.
Well, but the final nefarious purpose is to cash out.
They're just going to find a way to sell it, but also not sell it at the same time.
That could be.
So everyone appears to be happy, but secretly.
Yeah, but they're not going to let it vanish, is what I'm saying.
Oh, no, it's going to be brought, a completely propped up secondary buyer that's subsidized by China, but just a couple degrees of separation. I mean, it's going to be this same guard. It's just going to be a new wrapper.
We've talked about it before. Like, all the other companies sell their stuff, and that stuff, once it's sold, who knows where it's going. It just isn't a direct line.
To China.
All right. Hey, you know what? You can have a direct line to Site Strategics. They're in it for you, not China.
Direct fax line.
We're pioneers in agile digital methodology here. 20 years old. This is our 20th year of digital marketing. We focus on technical SEO, entity SEO, content strategies, curated from a lot of great interviews with our subject matter experts in your firm. If you're interested in what we can do for you, give us a call at 877-736-4932 or just go to sitestrategics.com. In fact, you can chat with us right there. Don't do it, Morty. Don't do it. All right. Second article from Search Engine Land from Nicola as well. Google Ads now limits country-level location exclusions. The platform is limiting advertisers to an exclusion list of 120 categories. 120 countries. Moving forward, advertisers will receive a warning notification if the number of entities they enter exceeds this limit. So, they have an exclusion list, and this is from PP Sauce on X. The exclusion lists all countries but U.S. and Australia and have always been able to just plug it in until today. So there's a ceiling of 120 countries. So if you're just trying to advertise to U.S. and Australia, for example, and trying to put in a manual filter of countries that you don't want to have visibility in, right, you won't be able to do that. So you can only opt in for countries, not opt out of countries. Google's saying from Ginny Marvin, who's the Google Ads liaison over there, she said, you'll see this notification if you try to add more than approximately 120 country level location exclusions. The aim is to simplify location targeting workflows, and we recommend using positive geographic targeting instead. So again, opting in, not out of countries. Well, that can be a little bit risky, especially if you're trying to control so much of your targeting if you don't have the license to be able to full on reject any level of permutations of countries, right? I mean, for example, there's not only a singular Indian countries. I mean, there's split offs of so many different things. If you're getting boxed in by just the limitations, I think you're going to be running out of opportunity to be able to optimize your campaign. Honestly, this is another removal of control that you have in the ad space. And I know, Morty, you don't take swings at ad space, but
No, I'll take a swing.
Go for it. Thank you.
Yeah, I am not educated in the ways of the ads, and I find your ways strange and often frightening and confusing.
Okay.
But if I'm spending money, why can't it's 2024? Why can't I have a checklist of places I don't want to advertise in? Why is that so hard?
Well, we did. What they're saying is that there's too many rules. You could actually put yourself in processing overload if the system itself.
But they can't handle. Like they can't handle.
Evidently, they can't.
They couldn't handle 121.
The aim is to simplify location targeting workflows. There's the key right there. Okay.
I don't know what that means.
They just don't want to adhere to your exclusion lists.
That's what I thought it meant. Okay.
Yeah, pretty much, and it's going to tax them to actually do that.
How many countries are there anyway?
Hey Alexa, how many?
195. Why? So that's like half. That's like half the planet. You could still be targeting half the planet, and probably a whole bunch of crap countries that you didn't even knew existed.
Why? Why take these things away from us? Why? They're trying to distract us. You know what they're trying to distract us from? The Core Update 2024 March. Google Core Update is a beautiful thing, right? We've got so.
What the? First off, I just want to point. What the hell are you even saying? First off, you're saying oh, they're trying to distract the ad people with the Core Update because that makes sense.
That doesn't make a lick sense whatsoever.
And then you're saying, yeah, it's a beautiful thing. What are you talking about?
I am having many strokes right now. I'm recording way too
You're
early.
Having a stroke.
All right. We weren't able to cover it last week.
You said to my wife, what do you say? I'm having a stroke. Sorry.
I smell toast. We missed it by a smidge last week. They announced
it is early. I'm sorry. I'm cooking breakfast.
Oh, thank you.
It's not a stroke. I'm actually making toast over here. I apologize.
Do
you have a Foreman grill in that little room of yours?
Don't do that again, man. You freaked me out.
I'm sorry.
So we released our news last week, and as soon as we released it, guess what? Google released a Core Update, a very large one.
I heard they were waiting for us.
They were holding on.
They were waiting for Lily Ray to go on stage at PubCon and have to redo her whole entire deck.
That's funny.
Yep.
Massive search quality enhancements in this March 2024 Core Update. They released it last Tuesday. Was that the 5th? Yeah. Google Helpful Content Update is now part of the core updates. They will no longer be announcing helpful content updates anymore. All of this, it says Barry over on Search Engine Land, is leading to a 40% reduction in unhelpful content within search. There's been a lot of discussion over the last week since this got announced. They released it last Tuesday. Elizabeth Tucker, Director of Product Search at Google, told Search Engine Land that the update will help reduce unhelpful content in Google search by 40%. That's a big number. Big, 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 big. More complex update than our usual core update, says Chris Nelson from the search quality team over at Google. Google made changes to multiple core systems. And if you are tracking the conversation inside of social, it's huge. We are seeing, they're targeting manipulation at scale as well. Some huge sites that were rolling with AI content and really bragging about it as well have suffered complete loss of visibility, and hundreds of sites, thousands of sites are getting actually de-indexed because of that level
Manual
of
action.
And manual action. Tell us about that. What's happening there?
There's like over 1,000 sites have gotten a manual, like all these like AI sites, just manual actions. Gone, just obliterated.
Oh
Google's like, we're waking up and we chose violence.
That's terrible.
And like, you know, all these like niche site people, no offense to the niche site people, like, oh, AI is great. And then bam, goodbye, done.
Oh my
See
gosh.
you. One moron, someone told me, had to be Crystal Carter for this gem. He saw someone wrote that if you are not connected to the search console, you cannot get a manual action.
Yeah, I saw that, and I saw that bouncing around. Go,
hey, how did I miss that?
Silently, these different spam sites are removing themselves from GSC so they don't get a manual action. What the idiocy?
By the way, I want to say something. It's 2024. We have this. It's clearly you see these websites and they're just absolute garbage.
Yep.
It took a manual action. Why didn't the algorithm hit that? That's right.
I don't know. I honestly don't know.
Manual action. Google's going after it. I'm looking at it like, oh my God, it's 2024 and Google still has to rely on manual actions for this?
That's actually an interesting point right there. Or is it a derivative of the algorithm? Did the manual actions get spat out as part of what they were going
No,
through?
I think it's a perception thing. They need to come off and show like we're anti the crap on the web. So now no one's talking about Reddit anymore. People are talking about Google's going after the AI.
Right.
So they changed the narrative. It's very smart on their part.
There you go.
I think,
absolutely.
I think they could be training an algorithm with all this. It's a lot of websites. Feels like back in the day when they used Penguin to train on like how to identify spammy links, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It has a lot of similarities here.
If you don't have Google Search Console, you can't get a manual action. Just like if you don't test for COVID, you can't get COVID. I don't know if you guys remember that from 2020.
I don't test for cancer.
Oh my gosh.
Remember that?
If you don't see the stop sign, it really doesn't exist, right?
Right. Or if it has the white border around it.
It's optional.
It's optional.
It's literally like eating like, I don't know, like tons of like deep dish pizza, buffalo wing, that's your entire diet.
Yeah.
And then like not going to the doctor to check your cholesterol. Like, no, I haven't gotten to, but if the numbers aren't bad, then they're fine.
So what you're telling me is my website about ostriches with their heads in the sand, all created by AI, is going to get a manual action.
How many fingers do those ostriches have?
I don't know.
Roger Monti over at Search Engine Journal piped in about a number of observations from this update. Saying sites that survived previous updates didn't escape this one. There's a lot of posts across social media demonstrating that Google is removing entire websites, not just pages, entire websites from the search results and from the search index. Some reports are from observers celebrating the removal of low-quality sites, says he, that have stubbornly clung in the SERPs through these other updates. To your point, Morty, is that they've been able to survive a number of algorithm updates, right? Yeah, I think it could very well be that they put a flag on the play with the ones that they knew about. So they really are charging up the hill, like that Braveheart clip. I mean, they're going to town here.
I just think it's like the larger point is like, you couldn't do it with the algorithm. Like these sites are like, okay, maybe the website is like not so bad. It's somewhere, but these are absolute dreck, total dreck.
They shouldn't have been around. They literally should not have
been
stuck
around.
So Barry actually reports over at Search Engine Roundtable.
Roundtable?
No, stop it. Let me speak. He was over at Search Engine Roundtable talking about the manual actions, and he gave a good thread from Glenn Gabe as well as Lily Ray and the numbers out there. There's a number of people really confused and complaining that I've got a site that's got 32,000 posts, and I don't know how to find the spammy article whenever he's copy and pasting a manual action in his Google Search Console. Well, sir, if you got 32,000 pages, that's one thing, but if a manual action is coming at you, you knew what you were doing this entire time, you know? There's a lot of people that are actually complaining about these sites getting de-indexed here. Now, are we seeing anything? You've been paying attention through the social channels this last week. Are we seeing anything of perspective that some sites have been taken down that should not have been taken down? Because, I mean, as listeners are listening to the podcast, they're running to the Google Search Console to see if they've received a manual action.
Oh, no, there's definitely algorithmic movement like you would expect during a core update, but the manual actions, like, they're manual actions. Like, you would have to be an absolute, like, idiot to kill off a website. It's a person manually reviewing it.
Right.
Like you would assume that they know, like they have half a brain to know, like this website deserves to get a manual action. So I haven't seen any complaints other than the signers like, oh no, my website is gone.
Oh my gosh. Lily Ray's keeping a list of around the top 200 sites hit by the HCU. The biggest
right, so
losers.
That's different. That's the algorithm.
That's the algorithm itself. So
and that's going to change over the next. That's a whole different story. Like what's actually going on there. I've said first off, I looked at it yesterday. So usually at the very beginning, when they have like an initial burst of volatility,
right?
Sometimes you can spot the volatility pretty easily. Sometimes it really takes digging in.
Right.
It was all over the place when I saw this. Anecdotal, but I looked at enough of these to know, like, okay, like this one has teeth. And like big drops.
I mean,
now, obviously, it's going to reverse 20 times over while this whole thing rolls out. But I think this one definitely has teeth. What it will end up doing, will it hit that? You know, Google said it's going to hit a 40% to get rid of 40% of low quality content. I don't know about that. I have my doubts about this whole plan. No, because I initially thought when they said that they're pulling in the HCU into the core algorithm, that, oh no, the HCU is going to become diluted. It'll be part of the core algorithm. Because it's now a small fish in a big pond, it won't have that same oomph. But then you go back. I changed my mind. I slept on it. I changed my mind. And this is just my theory. You can think I'm nuts. But they're talking about knocking off 40% of low quality content. That seems to be like, right up the HCU's alley kind of thing. They're also talking about like going after like that, not great AI kind of like, or generated content, yada, 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 which again, right up the HCU's alley. And if they're trying to make a statement, because they need to make a statement because the PR has been so bad.
Right.
First off, a lot of people saying, oh, the Google's doing this because they have to make a statement because they have to change the narrative. And that's true. I think they do. But Google also has to have something substance behind it. Because if you just do something like this and you say like, yeah, we're going to change it. We're going to, shift things around 40% of this and 40% of that and yada, yada, yada. But there's no actual substance behind it. People are going to catch on real quick in a month when nothing actually happens.
That this was a spin.
People are like, well, what happened? You said it'd be 40%. So I do think, contrary to what some people think, which I think is nuts, that Google actually has a plan. They're actually trying to do this. It's not just a PR stunt, because if it's a PR stunt, Google's really dumb. Because in 3 weeks, 4 weeks from now, when this whole thing rolls out, well, no, it's a PR stunt.
Right.
So which thing then is the bigger bombshell move? To integrate the HCU into the core algorithm and dilute the HCU as it aligns it with the other elements of the core?
Right.
Or to realign the core to align with the HCU, where the HCU becomes one of the dominant players in the core that now the other things have to align with. Not only does it make more sense from what Google's trying to do, but when Google said that we're making this a whole 4-week thing, it's very complicated, yada, 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 integrating the HCU in and letting it be like a minor part or just one other part of the core, that to me doesn't seem like the thing is going to be like a whole 4-week thing with a lot of fluctuations, yada, 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 yada. Because you're pulling the thing in and it gets diluted. But if the HCU becomes the prominent thing in the core algorithm, and now all the other elements within the core need to align with the HCU, that is more complicated, and that would be longer of a rollout, and it would be a more complicated of a rollout, where you would see a lot of volatility and reversals along the way, which aligns with Google's statement. So that's my theory.
We got to stop recording in the morning. He is way too awake for this.
Right?
You're absolutely right. Yeah, if you actually, I think you're in the pipe here because if you also look at what they've been doing with HCU rollouts, right? They've been training it. Now they're actually coming into the space where they're looking for authentic, original content, right? So what you're saying is they're pivoting the entire core around to be able to be
HCU.
focused on HCU.
The problem is what you just mentioned is that it's a learning algorithm.
Right.
It takes time to train it. So think about the product review update, which became the review update.
Exactly.
Now went like real time.
Yep.
That took years for it to really evolve.
Yep.
And that was really dealing with like one very small segment of the web, relatively speaking. The HCU was much younger.
Yeah, but we were talking about it as that it was training on niche and nuanced vernacular of industries. So it wasn't really about products as how people describe things.
Yeah, but you could train it on a certain subset of the web. It wasn't the whole web.
Right.
This thing is the whole web, and it's a younger algorithm, and it's had problems.
Yes,
so is it really ready for this? And that's where I think Google might be running into a problem. They know they need to make a shift. They know that the shift is making the HCU more prominent in the core, and because they know the HCU really is the future of the algorithm.
Right.
But is it ready for it yet? And I think not. And I think it's going to be problematic.
Yeah.
Too young. See, it's a it's still on TikTok. It hasn't realized TikTok is for idiots.
Ouch.
Yeah, I was going to the young wine as opposed to TikTok
Young
is for
idiots on TikTok selling all their data to China.
Hey,
wow,
I may be a lot of things, but I am not young.
That's true. You selling your data?
TikTok.
No, he's not on it. Yeah.
Yeah. See?
Yeah.
I've literally asked all my guests on the SEO Rant podcast, where can we find you? And people say, oh, I'm on LinkedIn, I'm on X, I'm on Twitter. And then I say, are you on TikTok? And they're like, no. No one said yes.
Well, I guess you haven't had me on the SEO Rant.
Oh, my gosh.
I have had you on the SEO Rant.
Have I? Oh, yeah. I've been there. You weren't.
I was not.
No, he was. It's both of you together.
Yes, that's right.
Wow, you just blocked him out of the podcast. He was with you. You're like, no, he wasn't there.
I was just running Aaron's microphone.
It was too traumatic. All right, you know what's also traumatic? AI news. Hey, check this out as we'll finish up here. Thank you very much for that
So
insight.
traumatic, he froze.
He is frozen. Look at him. Is he there? He's not
He
there.
just lost power.
Oh, there we go. He's back. And he's back.
All right, so AI news. Thank you very much for the insight on the core update. We're certainly going to be talking about that and watching that over the weeks and months to come. But over on AI news side of things, check this out. A Google engineer stole AI tech from Chinese firms. Ryan Dawes writes over at the Artificial Intelligence News blog. A former Google engineer has been charged with stealing trade secrets related to the company's AI technology and secretly working with two Chinese firms. Lin Wai Ding, a 38-year-old Chinese national, was arrested on Wednesday in Newark, California, and faces 4 counts of federal trade secret theft, each punishable by 10 years in prison. The indictment alleges that Ding, who was hired by Google in 2019 to develop software for the company's supercomputing data centers, began transferring sensitive trade secrets and confidential information to his personal Google Cloud account in 2021. Nothing scary there whatsoever, folks, especially with what we're talking about, not only in TikTok, but also with what Google's going through. I'm going to double down on one more news article here. Check this out. Researchers create self-spreading AI malware.
Yay.
Here it is. That's a little bit of a brief here. Here comes the AI worm, unleashing zero-click worms that target Gen AI-powered applications. This is an extract from Stav Cohen, Ron Bitton, and Ben Nasi. In the past year, numerous companies have incorporated generative AI capabilities into new and existing applications, forming interconnected generative AI ecosystems consisting of fully autonomous agents powered by Gen AI services. While ongoing research highlighted risks associated with the Gen AI layer of agents, dialogue poisoning, we talked about that, membership inference, prompt linking, jailbreaking, a critical questions emerge. Can attackers develop malware to exploit the Gen AI component of an agent and launch cyber attacks on the entire Gen AI ecosystem. Evidently, they say yes in this. This is cryptography and security are the key concepts here. Check out the article here. I'll have it in the notes. But evidently, it's a foregone conclusion that this is actually going to be manufactured or it's going to manifest in one way, shape, or form. There you are. I have to give it to you each time, right?
Yep.
All right. Door number 1 or door number 2, Morty?
1.5.
Oh, my gosh. Right.
I don't know what to do with that.
I don't either. Well,
I feel like you got to go with 1 because it explains a lot about earlier in the show.
All right,
Okay,
so
let's do that.
but we'll put number 2 in the show notes as well because we always love Alita's tool that she did for analyzing helpful information on a page. It's a ChatGPT prompt. So I did that anyway. Never mind. But make a song with a prompt. You can go to Suno AI, SUNO.ai, right? And you too can make a song with a prompt. You can make a song about the moon, about mom's cooking. Make a song about your friend. Make a song for lunch. Make a song for your goldfish. Make a song about the dentist. Make a song about the Sunday scaries. What the crap is
What
that?
the hell are the Sunday scaries?
I have no idea.
I don't know.
Alright.
I don't know that one.
But we made a
How
song.
about, like, why would you want to make a song when you can listen to like actual people who have written like great songs
Yeah.
over the last, I don't know, like 500 years?
Because you can make a song about anything. This is what we did. We actually grabbed hold of some key prompts for the Google March 2024 algorithm update. I threw it in there as
That
well
was the
as
crap you were playing before.
that was the crap I was playing before. Yes, it was wonderful.
That just made my point.
You can make a song about anything. We're all going to have
But
our.
there's so many songs by real artists.
I know,
that-
but can you make a song just like that with a couple of keystrokes? Now you can.
I'm having a stroke.
Hey.
You know what though? It's stuff like this
Mm-hmm.
that should make all of us feel safe in our jobs for a little bit longer, right?
Yeah,
Artists-
I feel more uncomfortable with humanity.
Writers, artists, everybody should feel like, you know what? I'm okay for a few more years.
I mean,
Because
let's be
that
honest,
crap's
the
out
bar
there.
wasn't that high. Like, have you listened to the lyrics from like the early Beatles songs? That wasn't exactly complicated. Something about loving and holding hands.
Repeated and repeated and repeated.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
just finally saw yesterday, like last week.
I never saw that.
It was a fantastic movie. Gotta check it out.
Was it good?
It was
Yeah.
really good. Yep.
There's a great movie called Across the Universe, which I thought was really good from years ago, probably like 20 years ago. That's based on the Beatles.
Just
also good.
Just watch The Color Out of Space as well. A Lovecraft iteration, and that was actually one of the best ones I've ever seen. That's a weird combination. You got Yesterday and Color Out of Space. Never mind. Hey, you know
Okay.
what's not weird?
What's not
Actually
weird?
jumping in and joining InLinks. InLinks is a continued sponsor of Edge of the Web. They have some fantastic tools over there for content creation, creating content briefs for your SEO strategy. The days of keyword ranking are no longer. You got to go after entities and entity research and developing semantic relationships of content on your website. Fantastic tool. Can't talk about them enough. We use them literally every day here at the shop. So go over to edgeofthewebradio.com/InLinks, INLINKS today to claim your free InLinks account. Barry Blast. Got 2 minutes only for each. I got to get these things typed because we want to cover the Barry, but I also went really long here because of the core update. But, you know, hey, it is what it is. From Search Engine Roundtable, Google, we still try to avoid overlapping algorithm updates. Barry writes over at Search Engine Roundtable about Danny Sullivan and what he said recently. They say they generally try to avoid overlapping algorithm updates. This is after releasing the March 2024 core update and the March 2024 spam update on the same day. Well, the spam update should take about 2 weeks to roll out. The core update can take up to 4 weeks to roll out, so you really don't know what's happening. Then they rolled out both at the same time. I do believe, as just hearkening back to your bit of a rant here, Morty, I think that's why they're doing it. They're marrying these things together. But anyway, what do you think about that? Have they, in the past, successfully kept these type of algorithm updates separate.
Well, I don't know. There was like when that's all, folks. It was August. They had the August core update. Then they had a September HCU update. Then another October update. And there's a spam update in there. And then November core. So they've had a lot of overlap before.
Yes, they have. But they
So
generally,
I know that. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that Danny's lying. Like Danny's not lying. I think they're trying. I think they do try. But I also think that they got two ready to go, which is what Danny said. Like they're not holding off for that reason.
remember whenever they said at Brighton SEO, buckle up, and there's been a number of references back to buckling up and that things are going to be changing over at Google.
Here we go. Buckle up.
Here we go. Absolutely. All right.
Yeah.
Another article.
Check your airbags.
Make sure that you have your air covering your own face before you try to put it on your child's. All right. Google Maps hides view counts on new reviews. Google's no longer showing the number of views a review gets on Google Maps. You'll be able to see the older view counts, but for now, the new reviews are not showing these counts. Curtis Boyd spotted the change and posted on X saying, Google Maps is no longer showing the view count on new reviews. So why is that information helpful? Well, it means that they're constantly changing the Google Business Profile space as well. They're constantly tooling it. And on top of it, if they're battling review spam, this is one of the factors that they can actually pull out to demonstrate any type of success metrics, is that if you're not showing those views, then kind of demotivates the entire review spam space. I don't know. It could very well be a factor that they're trying to dissuade or at least move down the line of tamping down review spam. They did a lot of work last year, certainly working on it this year, but it does suck that you don't get to see the number of views that you have per review. Last article that I wanted to bring up, and I appreciate it, Morty, you toss this into the bin here. Does Google Search know what is reliable information? Danny Sullivan, Google Search Liaison, was asked, does Google currently validate, verify information or data within content is accurate, correct, true, or even commonly accepted? In which Sullivan replied, it isn't a simple yes or no response. He probably should have said it just depends. That would have been fantastic.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Google Search wants to rank content people like, and people like content that has reliable information. So what's your take there, Morty, to kind of finish off our show here today? Do you think that Google is pursuing factual information or more popular information?
No. No.
Oh, that was yes, that was a, so no on factual or no on popular, or no, you're not just going to answer the question?
Well, they're trying to do a little bit of both, right? They're thinking, oh, maybe it's popular, that it might be factual. If
You
there's consensus,
you should be a politician.
that's what consensus means, right? Like the popular opinion is X. Is my conception of consensus not correct?
It is correct, and we all agree.
Okay, so
we all agree over here as well. See, that's a consensus.
I concur.
Agreed.
In 2017, Google released an algorithm update specific in Japan to show more useful and reliable information to users. Google said the SGE AI responses sourced from more reliable sources. Reliable is not just factual, it's reliable from a popularity standpoint as well. So what I hope they don't slip into further is really focusing on the content that's supported by the crowd as opposed to what true content could very well be out there, because sometimes the truth is not popular, right?
Guess so.
Check out the articles over at Search Engine Roundtable. He's always a fantastic fount of information over there. Good job.
Me?
Not you, Barry.
Oh, Barry.
What's going on over at Wix before we punch out, buddy?
Don't forget our event with Aleda in April, on April 16th at the Wix Playground. Sign up.
That's
Sign
right. April
up.
16th. It's going to be from, 4 to 9 p.m. or something like that?
Whoa, 4 to 9 p.m. No way, dude. I think it's like 3 to 6 or like 4 to 7 or something like that. Yeah, I don't think it's a 5-hour event.
We
That's a
may,
long time to be sitting on a panel.
be able to be out there. We've got to figure something out there.
Yeah, listen, come join. We can, troll Barry live in the flesh.
Oh, that'd be wonderful.
Yeah.
That's worth the price of admission right now. And
It
how
is.
much does it cost to actually join?
$0.
Hey, there we go. Free
Ding,
ticket.
ding, 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 winner. And there'll be free refreshments if that's your incentive.
There'll
to
be
show up.
snacks.
There'll be
Nice.
snacks. Yeah, see?
And we're
I know my
we're
audience.
already seeing a number of people that want to actually get in line and heckle Morty. So
There's a whole section.
I'm saying we're going to have to document.
We're going to set up bleachers for all.
Will there be Muppets?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't think we're in the era now that we can actually refer to Muppets without it being some sort of
Oh, someone's offended?
yeah, somebody's going to be offended.
I meant actual Muppets from like the Jim Henson Studios
Oh,
for
yeah.
all those who were concerned.
Exactly. Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Disclaimer
I'm so
done.
confused. What else would a Muppet mean? I'm just not in the loop.
You know, that's a good question. We watched some British comedy show and it was really funny, but someone called someone else a Muppet once, and I think it might be offensive. I don't know, or they could have been calling them the puppet from the Jim
Seriously,
Henson.
what a freaking wanker. Why would he call
Or
someone
they
a
could say,
Muppet?
"Hey, you got something up here." Never mind. Actually, we're going to actually punch out now.
Yeah, just like that.
Wanker.
Don't be a Muppet, folks. Don't be a Muppet.
In a sea of words lost in translation. Too many voices, no real information. And now there's hope, a change taking place. Google's got my back, they're clearing the space. Searching for the real deal, no more fake. No more spam, no more give and take. The march to 24 core update breaks the mold. Reducing unhelpful content, it's a story untold.